Hello, everyone. Welcome to this
Oh
week's
shit!
episode
I wasn't
of
ready.
Hollywood Matrimony Live. I told you we were
I know
going
you weren't. I
live.
wasn't. I just realized I hadn't done it. I thought I was, and I realized there was a whole nother thing I didn't even do.
We're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. You can also find us on what is X? Twitter, Instagram, Hive, and Blue Sky.
Yeah.
And our website, HollywoodMatrimony.com. While the husband gets ready here,
Sorry, I was sitting here, thought I was ready, and then I realized I'm not ready at all.
did I show anyone my new Chewbacca's? Where are my newest Chewbacca's? Did we show the ugly pencil? I want to ride with the ugly pencil. In the meantime,
oh shit! Sorry.
I'm wearing
You
my
wouldn't be able
new
to get it. It's down in there right
Life
now.
Day sweatshirt that you can't
You'd have to
see.
get it another day.
I have to go this way. Life Day.
We can go ahead and do.
All right, are you ready to go?
Close as I'm gonna be.
I would like to have everyone go watch our show about Disney planning. Someone actually booked a Disney trip after watching our video, and
Nice.
I talked to my brother. They're planning a Disney trip too, so I gave them some tips, and they're going to try to go maybe next year. So they're going to start saving now for next year because you can do that. So
Yeah, if you've never.
save. I told them because his wife can't. I don't know. They have mobility issues. Let's just say.
Yeah, what?
She has mobility
Okay,
issues.
Lord.
So, anyways, I was just like, maybe go to Disneyland to start.
Shorter.
It's a smaller park. You can really just walk it in a day or two. So I think that might be the way to go if you've never been. I hope the kids...
I always tell everybody anyway, if you've never been to either, go to Disneyland first because it's a little.
It's not as a letdown.
It's not a like I enjoyed it really a lot more this last time.
I did too. I think because
we went the first time we went to Disneyland. We'd already been to Disney World a few times.
A couple of times.
And then we were just like,
that's it.
Because it's only 2 parks instead of 4. They don't have some of the stuff, but they have stuff there.
They have other stuff we don't have.
So when we went this past December, we decided to go to Disneyland because we've only been there once, and it was years ago.
Yeah, many years.
Excuse me. And they have Avengers Campus and all this stuff, so we got to see a lot of new stuff, ride some new stuff. But I actually enjoyed it a lot more than that first time.
I enjoyed it, and I was actually very appreciative that it was smaller because we were done at like 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah, but because it was so attached to the hotel resort we were staying at,
awesome.
We could go back and forth really easy to our room.
Yeah.
Didn't become a whole thing of trying to take buses and Skyliners. So if you've never gone, I suggest do Disneyland first.
Mm-hmm. To get your
yeah, if it had been before December, I would have said
what is it?
Because it's you'd be underwhelmed if you go. But now I just think Disneyland's it's a fun shorter
trip.
Fun
little short trip.
It'd be a little cheaper because of less stuff to do as far as multiple parks. But definitely Disney World's a whole nother experience.
Yeah. I liked it.
The stuff they have at both parks are the exact same.
Yeah.
And they have stuff that's unique to those 2 parks.
I'm gonna fix my hair because it's too much.
We can't fix your hair in our show.
I can do anything. I am woman. Hear me roar.
I listen to you dumb roar.
Anyway, so I would go check out that video. I'll drop a link in the chat.
And if anybody has any questions, we have a lot of information we can give you if you haven't seen the video, or if you watch the video have other questions.
Yeah, don't pay a Disney planner like I've said. Just take me for some chips and queso, and I'll give you all my knowledge.
Yeah,
you don't need to pay.
I get the Disney planner idea because
I think I probably should get one for us taking 7 people. I mean, I'm gonna go crazy.
We're good.
We'll I'll figure it out. I'll wrangle us.
Yeah, we're doing another big trip in August, but this time taking
everyone,
the kids, their spouses, and the grandchild. So I think we put in enough time.
Prayers.
We put in enough time that we know it in and out, and we can move and we can control it.
Well, I don't know. They're probably going to want to stop and see princesses and all that.
Stuff, but
I'll be like, y'all wait in this line. We'll be right back.
That's the thing. We can leave them there while they're waiting in line and go do something we know we can get through, and then meet them back and they keep moving.
Correct. So
because there's some stuff the grandkids not gonna be able to drive.
Yeah, she'll be too small. And our kids don't really like roller coasters.
My daughter, she's not a roller coaster.
We're gonna get her on that one that broke down.
She did ask the other day if we were gonna try riding that.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't know. She goes, ugh.
Was it Thunder Mountain?
Yeah, Big Thunder Mountain, whatever
it is. We're gonna do it. It's not scary.
It broke down in the middle of it.
If we can get them on everyone, no, because it broke down.
Yeah, but I mean,
if we could get everyone on the Tron thing, I'll be happy because it didn't look very.
No, difficult. I still don't know if I'll be able to get her on there, but we'll see.
But she's completely enclosed.
You're not enclosed.
Well, you're
sitting on a motorcycle. Anyway, moving on. The show is not about Disney.
Let's talk about movies.
And I apologize my voice and my cough. I've been sick for 2 weeks. I did not have the vid.
Just a lingering cough.
Yeah, the cough is stuck here. My voice is jacked up. I'm finally not sick, but it sounds like I'm sick.
Yeah. Okay. So where do you want to go? Here are
Where
your
do you want?
options.
Tell me where you want.
You want to just go in this order?
That's fine.
Let's go.
No, there's no review up for that yet because
This
I
one?
wait till the Blu-ray comes out.
Okay. So we're talking about the new Disney movie, Wish. The
Yes.
grandkid came over and she's like, "Ooh, I haven't seen that yet." I said, "It's brand new. I have it because we had it
Well,
early."
I think everybody has it now
Well, we had it early.
because it's on.
But anyway, it's on the Disney. It's available on Disney Plus.
Is it on Disney Plus yet?
Isn't it?
No, I think it's just on digital.
It's available on digital on demand. You got to pay something.
Yeah, because it hit digital on January 23rd.
It's not on the Disney's?
I don't think it's on Disney Plus yet.
Okay, well,
it doesn't hit
we got it.
Blu-ray and all that until March 12th.
Wow.
So it's a little ways
So
out.
long.
So I think it's still in theaters technically.
Oh, is it? Okay,
it
well,
may not
I
be
have
since
it.
it's on digital now, but you never know.
I have it.
Anyway,
Okay,
what is this about?
It's about this girl who lives in a town where the
Excuse me,
king
sorry.
of the town has everyone's wishes safeguarded in the castle, and then wishes are granted at
random or
special
certain-
random
Or
wish
ages or
ceremonies.
whatever, yeah.
And then when you turn 18, you also hand over your wish, and he keeps it safe for everyone, right?
Into something, yeah.
He keeps it safe
Close
for
enough.
you. Okay. First of all, I'm just going to tell you, somebody's taking your wishes to keep them safe. We were already like,
everything about this movie
this
sounds
movie
shady.
just like, no. We knew something was going on. And as you can see in the thing, you can see he's got the eyebrow. He's already, you can
He's
tell.
already a villain.
He's going to be the bad guy. Especially if you have green light power, you're the bad guy.
Is that what it is?
Yes. And so the little girl, obviously, as you see right there, makes a wish upon a star. And he's like, who took the wishes? He's like, who's making a wish? I control the wishes. That's where the story goes.
So
What did you think? No, I've been talking. What did you
sorry.
think?
I thought it was fine. I was a little underwhelmed.
Were you?
I don't know. I never was. So here's the
Tell
thing.
me more.
Is even with the trailers, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. And it did kind of harken back to me to like a lot of the older Disney movies, like the Aladdins and the,
Yes.
even though it's in this computer animated style instead of the standard 2D animation. It did have the vibe of like the princess era of Aladdin, Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, all that kind of stuff. I thought it was a fine movie. I just felt I was never overly interested by the trailers. I just was like, it looks okay. It finally looks like something that is actually obviously a Disney movie. But I'm watching it. I never had a moment where it kind of pulled me in and I was just having a great time. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I didn't hate the movie. It's not bad. It just was, to me, very kind of by the numbers generic, if you will.
Yes.
It had moments that I enjoyed. It also didn't have any really standout. My big argument with Disney movies sometimes is you have the story, you have your main characters, then they usually have some sort of a standout, memorable or funny character. You know, whether it's a sidekick or something like that. That was one of my issues, like with Frozen, is I don't think there's any really memorable characters. The snowman's the closest you get, but he's so generic like everybody else, and nothing really happens in the first movie. The second movie, Frozen 2, at least had different things happening, different characters. This one, I think, suffered the same thing. I didn't think there was any real memorable, standout characters, even though the star was kind of interesting, and then the stuff they do with the donkey is kind of, it is a donkey, right? Not a goat. Yeah. It's kind of interesting, but outside of that, I felt it was kind of generic.
Okay.
What about you?
So in general, overall, I liked it. I would probably watch it one more time because there are some things, like you said, that are just kind of like, nah, okay. I applaud them, I guess, for trying to make it a little more culturally diverse. Because in the city's name is Rosas, somewhere in the Mediterranean. Sounds like the king and queen are kind of Spanish. So there's some of that thrown in there. The little girl, she's a person of color, so that's nice. But
none of it's stuff that makes sense.
None of it
it's not even part of the story.
Yeah, none of it's important to the movie. It's just there. But
Which I like more.
To me, yeah, it's interesting that now I've seen it so much more now. I've been aware of it. Like Spanish and stuff just gets mixed into things. Like there's this other movie I just saw today. Like it just gets mixed in and it just becomes part of the culture thing. You don't even think about it or worry about it. So I was okay with that. I agree. At times it was just like, okay. Parts of it felt like filler. Some of the conversations with her friends and stuff. But I mean, I think we're trying to get background on the city and
Yeah, I
everybody's
get it.
jobs and finding out that at a certain age you have to give your wish up so that he can keep it safe. And
I felt like the story was a short story that they tried to stretch into a feature
correct.
because
Because
there's not a lot of
off the
big
bat,
depth.
you know he's doing
Well,
something.
that and there's not a lot of big depth in the story, even as it goes forward. There's not a lot of revelations. I mean, there's some little stuff. There's nothing like major revelations or anything like that that really, it still seemed by the
Hmm.
numbers. And like I said, it did feel very much classic Disney, but without the bigger
Yeah,
thing.
like this is things like try to modernize something that doesn't need to be because it lacks the classic Disney feel.
See, and I didn't think it lacked the classic Disney feel. I felt like it felt to me like classic Disney. It just didn't have
It didn't have that.
those extra punches, those extra twists, those
There
reveals.
now, there's one like her big song at the end got me. It got me like a
Yeah, see,
little
I didn't think
teary eyed. I was
there's
like,
one or two songs I thought were okay. Most of the songs I thought were average at
they were
best.
generic. And then the thing, in the trailer keeps saying 100 years in the making. I'm like, what's 100 years in the making? Well, friends, stay till the very, very, very end of the
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
That's where they
That's
messed
the
up.
best part of the movie to
That
me.
was the whole best thing, and they should have put that before the credits or
Yeah,
mid credit
yeah. It's an
because
after
that
credit scene, and it's
shows you the 100 years of the making and the wish upon that she wished upon a star. I mean, that's the
yeah,
whole point of the movie to
it's
me.
the best. It
Ah,
is the best part of the movie, and it was. I'm glad we
it
waited
was
because we
buried
were
at the
like,
very end.
we almost. The only reason we waited is because they do a very clever credit
Credit
sequence where they're
scenes.
showing different characters throughout the Disney archive, but made with like the star constellation look.
Yes.
And so,
It was cute. And we were like guessing all the characters and like, oh, what movie was that? And then it reminded me of like movies I hadn't seen in so long. I
yeah,
want to go
yeah.
back and
Well,
watch.
you could tell that they were really using this movie to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Disney.
Yes. And
And
even
it,
throughout the movie, there's some nods to like Peter Pan or Bambi or
yeah.
whoever.
And see, and I think that's what I felt was missing because I think I had some expectation. Maybe I heard it. I don't remember honestly that there was a lot of nods to
There
the
were.
other a lot of other Disney stuff. So I don't know if maybe I thought we were going to see appearances or do something with the wishes that would do something clever, but I didn't really ever feel any of that stuff,
It's
you know.
sprinkled throughout.
But that was more of an expectation that was probably my own. That's not a movie problem.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think the that stamp at the end of the credits should have been the last shot of the film
I agree.
because so many people probably missed that.
Yeah. And I feel like maybe you're right. Maybe this was just, we're just putting this movie out to like push the 100-year anniversary.
I think there was more to it than that, but I think they found this
They
as probably
did.
a great cap because it came out around the time the 100th anniversary was coming to an end, and it's really celebrating that mentality and taking the whole wish upon a star idea that's always been a Disney thing and making it like, okay, here's an actual story of wishing upon a star. We've been talking about it for years, and it's from one song, and
Hmm.
and so it's developed the whole thing behind it. That's not the premise of the movie,
Not at all. It's about the
but
wishes and the
you get
power of
that because of the star and
wishes.
the wish, and you kind of connect that if you're a Disney fan. But if you don't connect that, it doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't matter. It's fine. It's a good movie. Like I said, I'll watch it one more time.
Yeah.
It's not the greatest Disney
I
movie
may
ever.
I may enjoy it by a second. I may enjoy it on
A
a
second.
second because now I know what it is and my
Yeah,
expectations are
expectations
lower.
are
Because there's
gone.
some funny moments. There's visually it's beautiful.
It is.
I think the villain guy is very one dimensional, but they try to make him deeper because you kind of go back and forth like he's up to some stuff.
Yeah.
But every so often he seems like no, he's not a bad
He
guy.
seems like okay.
But then he is a bad guy. But then he's not a bad guy. And so it makes you wonder, is he a conflicted situation or is he legitimately a bad dude? Or does he do something that makes him a bad dude? And so that's stuff that I don't think was really knocked out the park to really make you have the impact of what this villain character is. She's a very generic character of her journey. But they didn't need to do anything else with her. She's fine for what she is.
Yeah.
So
Fine. It's okay.
it is
What?
what it
Okay.
is.
What is your favorite Disney movie?
Fox and the Hound.
You've never gonna change that. What's your second favorite? See if I know that.
Excuse me. It kind of depends because I think I have more favorites of eras. Like, I'm not a fan of any of the movies during the Princess era.
Correct. You like the anamorphic?
Yeah, I like
animals.
the anamorphic ones before that, like the Robin Hoods.
I knew you'd say Robin Hood.
Robin
That's
Hood's a
what I was
great
waiting
flick.
for.
Sword in the Stone is up on the top of my list. I love the Black Cauldron. That doesn't get any love whatsoever.
No. Well, people were scared of that, or
yeah,
whatever.
it was too dark. It was on Disney Plus for a while, but I don't know if it's on there anymore.
Is it in the adult section or the?
Well, I don't know. I think it was on there, and then I think
it
it disappeared. I remember when we first got Disney Plus when it first launched. I saw it. I'm like, hell yeah! And I hadn't seen it in years. I watched it, and then I don't think it's on there, but I haven't looked in a while, so I could be wrong. But then if you jump into the past the Princess stuff, when you get into the Lion Kings and all that stuff, you know, I like Lion King. I think Tarzan's underrated.
I liked Tarzan.
Although the animation's a little weird.
I know, but I think that's what I liked. It was quirky.
Yeah, I think if I had to go through the Princess era, Mulan's probably the top one, but that had that martial arts aspect. I'm not a fan of the movie, but I'm a fan of Pocahontas because they changed the looks.
Yes, finally.
The art style. Even though I don't love that look of it. It wasn't the same freaking girl with just different color hair and new clothes. And I think as an artist,
different facial features.
As a fan and an artist myself, that's what annoyed me about the Princess era. It wasn't I hate princesses. I enjoy those movies, but I felt like every movie was the same.
It was.
You know, because if you look at Little Mermaid, not Pocahontas.
Snow White.
No, not Snow White.
Okay.
Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast. What is the other one in that era? I just went completely blank. Aladdin. All those are basically the same character with different color hair and different clothes. Art-wise, I mean.
Yeah.
I know people, they're different, but it's the art-wise. But I do like stuff like Coco. I like the different stuff. I think I like that. What is it? Raya and the Dragon, Last Dragon.
Yes, Raya. That was a good one. I liked it. I don't know if people liked it or not.
I like the Turning Red movie.
Oh, I
love that movie's a blast. So yeah, I have more Disney favorites than I used to. Prior to the Lion King era, I would have told you I hate all Disney stuff except for Fox and the Hound, because I really did not like Disney.
But you like Pinocchio? You liked it?
Yeah, I have a better respect for the originals films now. One, knowing how they made a lot of stuff, the rotoscope stuff and things like that, and then seeing from a mature set of eyes, seeing what they're doing and seeing stuff that they were subliminal and knowing some of the years that some of the stuff was made and what they pulled off.
Yeah, I mean, like still Snow White, the first film. I mean, you got to give it some props.
You know, and it still baffles me that Snow White was in the 30s.
Yeah. But they did it. But if you notice, then they redid that same dance with the foxes and the other Robin Hood. So I mean,
Jungle Book is great.
Yeah. You know, my favorite is Aladdin. But then if we're in princesses, I'm like you. I prefer a Pocahontas, a Mulan, a Moana. I prefer the princesses
I'm not even
of color.
I'm not a fan of Moana. I thought the movie was overrated. I'm very disappointed because that was one I was really looking forward to seeing.
But that little girl can sing her booty off.
Well, I'm not talking about people's abilities or talents. I'm about the movie itself. Like I like Lilo and Stitch.
That's true.
You don't like it because
it's a little too chaotic for me. I do like Beauty and the Beast. I always have. Little Mermaid's okay. Again. I know. So
I like the songs in Little Mermaid more than the movie itself, but I do enjoy the movie. Dinosaur's excellent. But I also have a personal connection to Little Mermaid more so that holds a special place for my daughter. So
yeah. All right.
Anyway,
well,
moving on.
Check it out.
Wish is available now on digital.
Oh, I don't think I ever threw the poster up. Sorry.
Oh.
There you go.
Wish is available now on digital. It will hit 4K Blu-ray DVD, and I'm assuming Disney Plus probably around the same time, which is March 12th. Okay. So I got a month or so. And we are giving away digital copies of Wish on our website at
HollywoodMatrimony.com.
So check it out. Check.
Okay, tell me about this movie.
Wolfpack.
I don't even know what this is about.
Wolfpack is a new movie starring Max Zhang.
Okay.
Who most people would know Max Zhang from. He's in Ip Man 3. He's the one that he fights in the big school that's helping him, and then they have their private fight.
Yes.
He also is the one that got his spin-off movie, Master Z, Ip Man Legacy.
Yeah.
He got his own film out of that. He showed up in Pacific Rim Uprising. He's in that.
I remember that.
Remember those movies that Stallone and Schwarzenegger did, that Escape Plan?
Yeah,
So
from the
remember
prison thing.
they did the first one, and then remember he did 2 others.
Yes.
Max Zhang is the one in one of them that has the umbrella and kind of craziness. Anyway, I love Max Zhang. He's a great guy. His name comes up as G Zhang, something I think instead.
Okay.
Anyway, this new movie is about this guy, not Max Zhang, his other guy, who is like some sort of a physician, but he ends up being part of this mercenary group that are on some mission. They basically take him, and they're trying to stop some international conspiracy. Typical action stuff. With Max Zhang's involvement, I was excited to see some martial arts stuff, and I think this is not really a martial arts flick. It's just more of a straight up action flick, which is okay. It does have some fights in it. It's a decent movie, but I think it's one of those that kind of felt like a very by the numbers action movie. Nothing really stood out. I couldn't even overly tell you any great sequences really. There's the final act is probably part of the best part, with a lot of the shootouts and things like that. It does feel rushed at sometimes just to get to the next action piece sometimes. And it also feels like there's certain characters that seem to just accept things, that they're arguing about being part of this or helping, and next thing they're best friends and they're helping out, kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Maybe I missed something, and maybe with the subtitle translations, it's a little bit
got
differently.
Lost in translation.
Yeah, I don't know.
Literally.
But it's a good action movie. It's not great. It's not bad. It's just kind of one of those, you watch it, you enjoy it, you move on kind of things. So
okay.
There's not much else to tell about. There's no big twists and turns. I mean, there's little things that pop up, but it's really just about watching the action and enjoying it for what it is.
All right, then.
It's one of those that could easily have been an Expendable storyline.
Nice.
Had they just taken all the actors out, thrown the Expendables in, it's that kind of action movie.
I see. Where do I watch this?
Excuse me. It's available now on Blu-ray and DVD. And you can go to our website. Oh, no, you can't. I don't think. Hold on. Before I lie, I don't think I have it. That one. That was one of those I keep thinking I had it, and I don't know. We don't have that. Never mind. You can't get that from me. But you can buy it on Blu-ray and DVD. And if you have Hiya streaming service, it may be on there by now. That's what I was
waiting for.
The streaming service. Yeah, I know you were. If you don't know Hiya, it's a Wellgo USA streaming service. It's like $4 a month, and it's got tons of great Asian cinemas, action.
So does it have this one that I like?
The one-armed swordsman.
Yeah. And then he flips under, and you see his hand behind him.
He's doing his trick. I think it might be on there. I don't know.
Does it have the elemental ninja thing?
No, that's all Shaw Brothers stuff.
Oh, okay.
So they have some stuff, but they don't. They do have some classic.
I'm gonna get on there and just watch rando things. And see
you should. They have some great new stuff.
Does it have that weird movie we saw with the tentacle monster with the?
No, that doesn't have any adult stuff in there.
Was that an adult movie we watched at that convention?
Probably.
Oh gosh.
Oh no, you're thinking of.
It was disturbing.
Like Hell Driver and some of those other ones. That's a whole different genre of Asian cinema. No, they do not have those.
Okay. This is just martial arts.
It's martial arts and horror. There's some comedy. There's some action. There's some drama.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
But it's all mostly Asian cinema stuff.
I love it.
Stuff like that Mercy Road and stuff like that. You know what?
I love Asian cinema because they just go there.
They just do whatever they want.
They just do it.
Anyway, Wolfpack is available now, so check it out.
All right. This is next on the list. Let's go here.
All right. So this next one is a movie you mentioned last week.
I did.
And then I had forgotten that they had sent me a thing that said, hey, if you want to watch this, we'll send you a copy or send you a link to watch it.
Okay.
So after the show is when I saw it. So I immediately asked for it. I'm like, hey, my wife just mentioned that. And it was one of those emails that I'd gotten a lot of stuff promoting this. I've been ignoring them. Just got so many other things going on. I'm just like, I don't know what this is. And finally, I said, I'm just going to watch it. And then I sent it to you. You got to finish it?
I finished it.
All right. So it's a movie called Scrambled. It's about a lady who is basically forever the bridesmaid, never the bride. She's getting older. She's starting to be concerned about getting too old to have kids and wanting to be married and relationships. And her family's, or her dad anyway, is pressuring her, why don't I have grandkids? And it's just, she's going through that normal female midlife crisis of life, and I think what works for the film is it's touching on that important subject of the expectation of females.
Yes.
Of you're expected to be married, you're expected to have kids at a certain age, or if you're not, you're useless.
Yes.
Or you're failing in life, and that's not the case.
Correct.
So, what did you think of the movie?
I really liked this movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. And it's kind of quirky, and you got to kind of get into it. But then I agree, it was very much just telling about the expectations of that people place on you, and it's not fair. What people are like, oh, you should do this and you should do that, but it's just like,
I believe it was in this movie. I'll make sure I'm not thinking of a different movie. That they have a whole thing talking about getting someone pregnant and how well, I've got to carry this and do this. All you had to do is just stick stuff in things. Is that in this movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm making sure because I watched some other stuff.
And it's interesting because the lady, it looks like the lady that wrote it is the main lady.
Yeah, she wrote and directed it.
So, and she was in it. And I like her. I think she's cool. And I think one of the things I like most about her is she brings to light one of the things that I think people don't realize is she's Latina. She's Nicaraguan plus whatever else she is. And there's that one girl that I follow on Instagram or whatever that she's Latina and she's a redhead too.
Oh,
these redheaded,
the one that does the white person and the Hispanic person.
Yeah. Her mom, and she tells her mom like funny things to see if her mom gets mad. Like one she was like, "Mom, your salsa's not hot." She's like, "What do you mean? I used 40 chilies."
Yeah, I know.
But anyways, so I just love that.
But she looks completely white, both of them.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I love now, and that they're speaking Spanish, her and her mom, a little bit and things, but there's no translation because it's not needed. You get it. Yeah. I think now it's ingrained in the culture. But it's interesting the pressures that you get into. And at one point, the dad, he's a white guy married to the Latin woman. And he's like, you should have 50 kids by now, basically. She's like, oh, yeah, my bad. The one Latina in the world that can't have 10 kids.
Yeah.
But, I kind of had that weird thing happen, too, because my dad's like.
You're barren.
I know. I'm horribly barren.
She just decided you didn't want to have kids. We've had to. I have kids
When we got married, we talked about it. But you know what? Well, when we got married, it became the years of baseball. Whatever, baseball,
you walked into
softball,
the chaos of having kids.
Football, cheerleading, and it was that. And I was just like, how would you add a child to this mix at the moment? Because they were already in that age where it was like activity, who's picking up who, are we going to this game, plus classes and work and all that. I was just like, no, thank you. And I really,
but you've been around them since my son was in diapers when I
first met y'all.
So you've been around them, and they've known you their whole life.
Yeah, and so it's just like meh. And I watched the Miracle of Life video. I mention this all the time. In middle school or whatever, when they take the girls and the boys around for sex ed class. In our class, they showed us the Miracle of Life video, which was basically the woman giving birth. And so you see like this, and then suddenly a head erupts, and I'm like,
if you haven't ever seen The Miracle of Life, just watch Alien.
It's just, pretty much. It's just gross. So I was just like never really into that. So I was just
I walked in this movie with no expectation of what it was. I got Scrambled was going to probably be about the lady eggs.
Yeah, and it was. She decided she's going to freeze her eggs because she wasn't ready yet.
I didn't have a lot of interest in the movie. For no other reason as hadn't seen trailers, hadn't seen this. I'm just like, I didn't know if it was going to be a drama dealing with a bunch of just pregnancy stuff over and over, which I know it can be interesting, but I was just like, or if it was going to be a comedy. I knew nothing. So I walked into it. I really enjoyed this one. I liked too that she went all in.
Yes.
Like there's some weird sex stuff, not like gross, but like just weird moments and the uncomfortable real life of, usually you get movie sex scenes and they make them hyper sensual or hyper visual or whatever. In this one, it's like just like the sadness of real life sex.
Yeah.
But it's some funny stuff. But the movie is very lighthearted while dealing with a very heavy subject.
Yes.
And it never takes itself too seriously, but it never makes fun of the message that it has. And I think it balances really well for people like, say, a guy who doesn't want to discuss those kind of things. It gives you that information while entertaining you, but never making fun of itself. I think it's very balanced well. Mm-hmm. Like there's emotional moments, there's heavy moments.
I was going to cry at one point. I think that also when her neighbor,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I
That was
love
the whole
that
build up, and
lady.
you knew it was building to something.
I'm like, something's gonna happen with this. But then that was like the sweetest thing, because if you notice too, her neighbor's alone. It's an older lady alone, and nobody. I don't ever remember, like, nobody came to visit her or see her too. So I think she gets it, but it's so funny.
And it didn't feel the need to explain the neighbor's backstory.
No,
it wasn't necessary.
we just have the neighbor.
You just see her. You kind of feel like, and you're led to believe this neighbor is an asshole.
Yes.
And then some of the stuff that changes the story alters your perception of a lot of things, and I think it just works. I thought
it was a really good movie, and I got emotional a couple of times. I was like, oh.
My favorite sequence is the support group. Yes, she goes to this support group. It's supposed to be for her friend.
Her friend suffered a miscarriage, and her friend asked her to go with her.
Yeah, she goes to the support group, and her friend doesn't show up.
Her friend.
It's not really a spoiler. It's a very small thing.
Yeah.
And so she's like, I'm going to leave, whatever. And then she's trying to
quietly leave.
They ask her to stay, so she's trying to stay, but she keeps making these statements that are like double meanings about abortions or lawsuits or whatever. And then you see all these ladies are just like visually upset of what she's saying, and then they all just die laughing because they're feeling that sense of relief. That this doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be. I mean, it is tragic.
It is, but it doesn't have to be all sticky all the time.
time.
And this lady who had no intention of helping anybody is now not only helping them, but they're helping her.
I really like that, and I liked her being able to talk to people who understand it from the other side. I think too, because I think that's one of the things I found interesting. Cause like you said, all these people in this group had lost a child, and she's over here saying, "I just don't think I'm ready." Yeah. But they understood that. And they respected it. And I think as women,
there's a doctor
sometimes
moment too.
We don't do that.
There's a moment with the doctor too where he's looking at her and he's like, "You're pregnant," and she's like, "Am I?" He goes, "No," and I'm like, God. "That shit ain't funny, man."
But you know what?
But it's another side of he doesn't really understand what she's emotionally going through. He's just being a doctor, and he knows he's tired of dealing with her same drama. And he thinks he's being funny, and it's really insensitive.
But I think at the end, we just all need to respect other people's decisions about their life, and it's none of your business if somebody's going to have kids or not have kids or have 10, except for our kids, or I'm like, don't have any more kids.
Well, but the thing is too is,
I mean, if you want,
you complain about the society complains about people being on welfare, or people not raising kids properly, people doing all this stuff, but then they flip the script and say, you have those other groups that say, well, we don't need birth control, we don't need this, you can't have this, you need to have kids. Why are you not having kids? Blah blah blah. But if you say you can't afford them, they're like, it doesn't matter. You need to have them anyway. You shouldn't do this, And the other solution is like, well, if you don't have kids, don't have sex. Well, you're right. That is the ultimate solution, but that's not how life and relationships work. And accidents happen, and people may not be ready for it. And since nobody else is stepping up to help, you got to find different ways to do certain things. And people shouldn't be guilted into doing something they have no interest in doing.
Yeah.
Whether it's this, religion, jobs, sports, whatever it is. If it's not you, you shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah, I just don't.
And you shouldn't be made feel less. Oh, but you don't feel less than because you've not pushed anything out of your tutor.
No, I actually feel very liberated because at this age, I can do whatever the heck I want to. So I think that's the thing that people don't realize. Once you have a kid, that's forever. They never go away. They show up at your house and look and see what you have to eat.
Well, I'm tired of is all these uppity women and their rights. This is just going to
No, and like our child showed up yesterday or whenever. It's not because she loves us. It's because she wanted me to do her taxes. So, I mean.
In her defense, she also brought me a gift.
Okay, fine.
She brought me this lovely shirt.
They never go away.
And
they never go away.
She did ask if she had anything she could eat.
See? They always come over and go to the fridge.
She didn't go to the fridge today. She sat down and we were sitting there talking. And she goes,
the other one does.
Yeah, he goes right. He uses the bathroom. He goes right to the fridge. She's like,
dude,
do you have anything I can eat? I'm like, I don't know what's in there. And she goes back. She goes, can I have that pasta? I'm like, no, that's mine. I'm going to eat it later. I said, here.
That chicken.
I gave her one of those. I tried to give her the chicken, but we were a little suspect.
Okay, throw it out.
Then I gave her one of those granola bars.
Oh, okay.
I said, here, eat this. And it's this granola bar she got me from this lady who makes them. So
they're super healthy.
They're super healthy and fresh. They're good. But she bit into it. She's like, I said, yeah, it's a little
chewy.
sticky, chewy because it's made with real ingredients. She goes, yeah. She goes, it's good. I guess I'm used to everything being processed.
Yeah, no, this lady does it like super real, like laying it out and putting the goopy.
And then I sent her on her way. I also gave her one of those my bomb pop cokes to try.
Drink. That's good.
So I sent her away with stuff.
I'm just telling you.
Anyway,
do what you want to do. Don't let anyone pressure you.
Scrambled is a fun, good movie. I think hopefully it finds its audience. It deserves.
It was fun. It was good.
In theaters now.
All right. Next. We are.
I was like, what is that?
We are the children. This is a new Netflix documentary, The Greatest Night in Pop.
And if you don't know what We Are the World is, first of all, you're probably from the wrong generation.
That's okay, but go listen to it.
But there's a ton of reaction videos of people discovering it.
For the song?
Yeah,
they didn't
of the
know?
video. That they
because
never heard
they
the
watched
song.
this?
No. Prior to this.
Ah.
There's tons of YouTube reaction videos of people, because a lot of those people take requests. And so so they're watching the video, and then some of them are like, who is this? It's always interesting when you see somebody really young that's watching, they're like, wow, this is amazing. But they're not excited or they're not surprised by seeing certain people because they don't know who they are.
Yeah.
But then there's others that may have done reactions from oh wait, that's so-and-so and that's so-and-so. Whereas our generation, we're like, holy crap.
All of these people, getting all these people together is amazing. Tell us about it.
So basically the Greatest Night of Pop is the story of the We Are the World song, of not only why they made it, how they wrote it, who was behind it, but also the effort that it took to get everybody together for one night.
Yes.
And the actual organization of the music and who does solos and who's involved, who's not involved. And it had a lot more people interviewed on here than I expected.
Yeah, much more.
Because you have Lionel Richie's on here. What's her name? Cyndi Lauper, Huey Lewis, Michael Jackson not here. What is it? Sheila E. There's just a bunch of different people show up that are the engineers, cameramen that worked on it. So it's actually really, really good documentary.
Yeah, you have to imagine this. It's 1985. We are in the 80s.
No email.
There was no email. Well, there might have been, but not really.
Not for normal people. There weren't.
You were probably faxing stuff. There's
no
big internet. And I mean, you could send a message, but these people were actually phone calling agents, assistants, and whatever. Can you find out if so-and-so is available in the state? So what they did is at the American Music Awards on 1985, they're like, you're not going to the party afterwards. You're coming to the studio and we are recording a song.
Yeah, so they all did the award show. Lionel Richie was hosting.
Yep.
Then they all immediately went from there to the studio and were there from like 10 at night till like 5, 6 in the morning.
6
trying
in
to do
the
this song.
morning.
It's there's not a lot you can say about it other than you just have to see it.
You need to see this
and hear the stories of what they did, and they get to see footage of stuff like one of the things I told you was I hope we get to see how they pick solos.
Right.
Because there's so many people there. Why does this person get a solo? Why does this one not? You know, then you have people like Dan Aykroyd and people that you wouldn't expect. Why are they there? You know,
because
he was part of the Blues
Brothers.
Yeah, so.
I mean, I even like that Bette Midler was there because I'm a Bette Midler fan. Most people probably aren't. But I mean, at the time, they were trying. First they knew they had Lionel and Michael Jackson.
Well, so the funny part is they were supposed to be
Quince Jones.
It was supposed to be Lionel Richie and Stevie Wonder writing this song.
Right.
Stevie Wonder wasn't returning anybody's calls because they said because Stevie does what Stevie wants, and so they went with Michael Jackson. And one of the funny parts of the documentary is when they finally got to the studio, they had already written a song. And Stevie Wonder shows up ready to write it.
It would be good if we did this. Like, why don't we say this instead? And they're like, yeah.
Like, we've already written this, Stevie.
Like, 2 minutes. And then they had Quincy Jones recording and producing. So it's amazing if you see this. And I think, though, too, if you had to be live at the time to realize how fantastical this was, to get people together like a Bette Midler or whatever. But then you also have like Huey Lewis and the guy from Journey
and some of this
Tina Turner.
And while a lot of these people are big, some of these are people at the beginning of their career. Like Huey Lewis was not the Huey Lewis we know now. He had just kind of become big.
Yes.
So for him, it was like, y'all want me in this thing?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then he ends up singing a solo because somebody else didn't show up. You can watch it. Didn't show up that they were hoping for. And I think he's got one of the best lines and power in the moment.
I mean, but you got Footloose is there, the Gambler's there, the Boss is there. I mean, everybody.
I think that the most interesting one that I always wondered about, who I think has my favorite line in the song, is Bob Dylan.
Right?
Because Bob Dylan does not fit with any
Bob
of these
Dylan
people.
to come in, and they were talking about it. You have to watch the
there's a whole segment about the Bob Dylan solo.
Because he wasn't a classical singer. Like, I'm not a fan of his singing, but I'm a fan of his writing and his poetry because he really had something to say. You know, and
if you watch the video,
moving,
and it enhances a little more in the documentary, like he looks uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like he looks like he does not want to be there. And when you see it and you hear him explain it, and then you see what they did for him, for him to do his solo, I thought was very powerful.
Yes.
Because they made it to what his environment normally is, as opposed to everybody else. So it's just a great thing to watch.
You know, at one point, was it Diana Ross that went over to somebody's like, "Can I have your autograph?"
Yeah.
I'm just like, what? But
Who
you don't realize.
I
feel like it was Huey Lewis or the Boss, or maybe it was Bruce Springsteen. I don't know. You have to go watch it again. I'm going to watch this again.
Yeah, it's like one person went to somebody else.
Or maybe it was Kenny Loggins or Kenny Rogers, or who knows.
Yeah, one celebrity went and asked somebody else.
And then suddenly
if they could get their autograph on their music. And the next thing you know, they said everybody was getting autographs from each other. And
it's so sweet. Oh, it's so cool. And now I hope this will bring back some of the music and people will go look up who all these people are.
Like I said, there's been a lot of reactions over the last couple of years of people reaction to this video and listening to some of the reaction videos, like I mentioned, recognizing people because they had already reacted to some of their music. Else. So they're discovering the music that way. And then other people talking about like, man, I can't imagine this coming out at that time.
Yeah.
You know, and knowing that this song is still generating money.
Yes.
To this day.
That's awesome.
Some of y'all may not know this. There was a second song, but it was in, I don't remember what year they did, but it was more of a hip hop.
Yeah.
It's not great. I think it was a missed opportunity. They didn't fully capture what they could have done, but they at least did. I think it was done for a different place. I think Will I Am or somebody like that put it together. Anyway.
Well, but then, you know, after this, there was like Live Aid. And the other one where Queen was at, where they brought in the most money, that story. I mean,
Farm Aid.
Yeah, Farm Aid. There was Live Aid. There's all these other aids to help aid and give money for other countries. So I just think it's amazing. I hope everyone will go see it. It's on Netflix, so you can go watch it now. It's really cool for me to see some of these people as like, oh yeah, I forgot about them. And then seeing like who's the guy from Journey that were just like, he was probably a jerk, but he did a great job in the song.
Yeah. I've always heard he's a jerk.
And like Hall & Oates, who are now embattled in legal battles, and and like Footloose is looking old now in his interview, but man, he had that beard rocking back then. It's just so fun to see all these people. So I hope you will go see it.
Okay, so the other one, it's We Are the World 25 for Haiti.
Oh, okay.
And it was about the earthquake. It was Wyclef Jean.
Oh, okay.
It was produced by Quincy Jones and Lionel Richie with Wyclef for this one. And it was directed by Emilio and Gloria Estefan.
Oh, okay.
So it's a different variation of the song. It's a remake of the song, but it had like Justin Bieber, Jennifer Hudson. It had a lot of different, more current artists.
I see.
If you never heard that
period. One, no.
I'll have to pull it up before we've done it.
All right. Well, anyway. Please check this out. The Greatest Night in Pop, the documentary about the We Are the World song and video, is now on Netflix.
Woohoo!
And let's talk about this one.
Is this the last one?
This is our last one.
Well, our last one is Matthew Vaughn's latest film, Argylle.
Okay.
Which I'm sad to say did not do well at the box office. It's a $200 budget. I think it made less than $10 million, I believe. No, I take that back. I think it ended up making $18 million, which is kind of killed the chance for a franchise that it was clearly trying to set up. And there was also discussion, was it trying to merge into the world of the Kingsman? Because Matthew Vaughn also directed it. So if you don't know Matthew Vaughn, he did X-Men First Class. He did the Kingsman films. He did the Kick-Ass films. So Argylle is his new baby. Some of the discussion is, did they promote it wrong? Because I didn't get this myself, and you can tell me if you did. A lot of people seem to be thinking that it was promoted wrong, that it was promoted as a Henry Cavill John Cena movie. I never got that. I thought it was very clear in the trailer that it was going to be about her and Sam Rockwell, and that they were the characters from the book.
Oh, I didn't get that.
They show that in the trailer.
No, I got that it was a movie about Henry Cavill being a spy.
Yes, and they talk about it. They cut in the trailer.
And that she somehow knew all of his adventures.
Yeah, they show that he's in the trailer, it shows he's the character in the book.
Yes. That's it. That's all I thought it was about. I thought she was going to meet the real life guy she'd been writing about.
Well, that's what the movie's about, is finding out who the Argylle is. But it's
I didn't even see the other guy in the trailer. I just saw him.
Oh, yeah, he's in Smallwood. But anyway, so the movie, first of all, the focus is about Sam Rockwell and Bryce Dallas Howard.
See, and I didn't understand that was going to happen.
Okay, well,
I thought it was Henry Cavill.
They're the only two predominantly in the trailer.
Well, no, it was Henry Cavill and her.
No. You clearly are. You're recreating what you thought you saw in the trailer and what's actually in the trailer.
I must have had one of these.
You were too enthralled by Henry Cavill's hair.
I must have, because it's horrible.
So basically, the story is about an author who writes this book called Argylle, about a kind of James Bond-esque spy. And she's writing a new novel. And then suddenly she gets whisked into the world of spy and espionage. And they're basically telling her the stuff she's writing is coming true.
Right.
Or has already come true.
Right.
And so that's the story.
There you go.
Henry Cavill plays Argylle, the spy. And then Bryce Dallas Howard is the writer. The rest of these people are various characters within the story, both stories. So
there you go.
What did you think?
I liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I really did.
It's a blast. It got horrible reviews.
It's fun. It's funny. It's lighthearted. There's some serious moments. There's some fight scenes and some ridiculousness.
It's ridiculously over the top.
I enjoyed it.
But it's a fun movie.
It's so fun.
I don't know why it got so.
And that cat cracks me up.
It got a lot of bad reviews. I don't know what people thought they were going to get. I thought I was going to go into, from the trailer, an over-the-top fun flick, especially with Matthew Vaughn's styles. I expected this felt very much like the Kingsman movies to me, but in a different set of characters.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Henry Cavill was fantastic. He has this swagger persona to him that's very James Bond-like, which I read an article too that before Daniel Craig got James Bond, Henry Cavill auditioned for James Bond, and Matthew Vaughn got him for this. Basically, this is what we would have gotten as James Bond kind of idea, and I thought he was great in the role. I thought John Cena was great, even though he's got a very small part. He's fun, but this is the show of Sam Rockwell and Bryce Dallas Howard. I thought they had great chemistry that's kind of dysfunctional, but still works. I thought they both did great with everything, the action, everything.
Yeah.
I think my only issue with the movie is I think the pacing is off sometimes. It felt like some things were stretched out too long, some things jumped ahead too fast, but always found its way back on track.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was fun. I guess I was confused then on the trailer. It doesn't matter. I got what I was expecting. Yeah. Actually, I got more than what I was expecting because it was like a double, triple twist.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a lot of fun. It is a little bit silly at times. It's over the top sometimes. I'm doing over the top. But I liked it, and I thought it was just super fun. And I like seeing Bryce Dallas Howard because I feel like she just directs so much now that I don't see her as much as I want to.
But I thought she did a really great job. Because she has to deal with multiple varieties of herself in this movie. And I thought she did well. And even with the action stuff, she gets to get in on the fun at one point. All the action is insanely over the top and crazy. But it made me feel like some of the old James Bond movies when they were just like these silly gadgets and ridiculous stuff they did. But I felt it worked in the context of the story they're trying to tell.
Correct.
I don't know if it connected with everybody on that same idea because there's two big sequences that are visually awesome. One is in the trailer. You see a little portion of it involves about these different colored smoke bombs. It's a very cool looking sequence. It's stupid, but it's very cool and visually stunning. And then there's a scene that's very reminiscent of the transporter fight scene where he's fighting in the oil. Again, it's another really stupid scene, but it fits and it works. And it's cleverly done.
I'm just looking up random things right now. I was going to say something.
I don't know. You're too busy going and reading other things.
Sorry. No, it was pertaining to her because I like her. She's one of my favorite
Bryce
people.
Dallas Howard?
Yeah.
I think you used to dislike her.
Did I? Maybe it was because of Jurassic, whatever.
She's great in those movies.
She is.
You just didn't like her.
Is she the high heels?
She is.
Yeah. And I like now that she looks different. I think she's more womanly now.
You're saying hefty?
She's curvy, and
she's always been kind of hefty.
Well, she was skinnier.
Fat, maybe, but I think she had kids and stuff too. So.
You know what? And I love it. I loved curviness, and I liked that she was wearing some curvy jeans and she was rocking it. I know that's so random, but I like that because
she has that every woman feeling.
Yes, that's what I like about her. I'm like, man, look at little Ronnie Howard's daughter.
So you're saying you have something against Dua Lipa?
Which one is she?
The girl in the gold outfit. She's the same one that's the mermaid and Barbie with John Cena.
Everybody knows each other from Barbie now. I don't know. I really enjoyed this movie. I hope they would do more, or if not, let's put out some fake books about the movie.
I think there is a book, Argylle.
Is there?
The actual book is out.
Oh, okay.
Because I saw videos. Henry Cavill was going to bookstores, randomly signing them and putting them on the shelf.
How sweet! And people are gonna be like, "What's this crap?"
Yeah. I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was exactly what I wanted.
That's too bad people didn't get it.
Yeah, it's just one of those that I think this is a hit and miss movie. It's just one that I think will find life
somewhere
on Blu-ray and stuff. And I think there's a lot to be said. You know, you get a lot of people that are blaming, superhero fatigue, and they're blaming bad movies or what it is for people not having this big a cinema anymore. I think the time has changed. I think people have gotten so used to streaming, so used to not going because of COVID stuff. People aren't as willing to shell out money for everything anymore. And I think people are picking and choosing what they go to see, sometimes based on hype and sometimes based on something that, they were looking forward to, but also, I can see the next Marvel movie when it hits Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I don't need to rush out and wait in line anymore.
Yeah.
You had random flukes and stuff like Barbie, for instance. That movie could have gone either way. Because I said from the beginning that movie is either going to be genius or trash.
I really enjoyed it. You were kind of meh.
I thought it was a fine movie. I enjoyed it.
You really enjoyed Oppenheimer, and I was kind of like, meh.
Yeah, so it's
okay.
The same thing. Oppenheimer, if they hadn't put that Barbenheimer thing, if that didn't happen, Oppenheimer might not have made the same money that it made. Barbie might not have made the same money, but it had that fluke thing that happened. The studios had nothing to do with it. It was a pure fan joke that turned into this massive thing for two films that deserved to be successful at the box office. Barbie didn't hit with me as much as people talk about, but I understand its social importance, and I understand the cleverness of being able to make that work.
Yeah,
which I think is genius. This is one of those that it was a swing, and for me it was a hit, but
I liked it.
Seemed to be a miss.
You should go watch it.
I think it's going to find legs later.
It will. It'll find it.
And there is an after credit scene or mid credit scene that does hint at a franchise for this, but also nods to Kingsman, which could mean connection, or it could just be, hey, I made Kingsman. Let's do this as a joke. Yeah. So I don't know. I liked Argylle. I hope people go see it.
Yeah.
But if not, shame on you.
Okay. Go ahead.
Argylle's in theaters now.
All right.
Go watch it. Stop watching other stupid things.
Okay. Over to you, my liege.
Okay.
What do you got?
Know your place.
Wow.
There's nothing really coming out this week.
Well, all right.
Mostly it's either remakes, re-releases, not even really any of that great stuff. The Warren Beatty, Julie Christie movie, McCabe and Miss Miller's getting a 4K treatment. The Terminal Man, which is George Siegel, which is Pops from the Goldbergs.
Oh, yeah.
An old movie of his is coming out. Lars von Trier's The Kingdom Trilogy is getting a Blu-ray release. Some anime stuff. That looks to be about it this week. Nothing major.
Okay. Coming out at the theater or on demand. So Tuesday, they're on video demand and digital, a movie called Gods of the Deep. It's this deep sea submarine team finds a hole in the ocean floor. And to me, that'd be like turn away now. But they decide they're going to go investigate. and find a lost world. Also on video demand and digital on Tuesday, a movie called Love Reconsidered. It's this girl who's calls herself 30 and flirty, but she just hasn't found the right person.
Marriage.
Could be a chance meeting with someone. Also a movie called Weak Layers. It's these friends set out on a ski competition to win the prize money to cover the rent. And it sounds like comedy ensues. Coming out Friday in theaters, Lisa Frankenstein. Are we going to see that? Because it has your girl.
What girl?
Isn't Carla Gugino your girl?
Oh, that one. Yeah.
So basically, it's set in 1989. Someone accidentally reanimates a Victorian corpse during a lightning storm. I don't know how you accidentally do that unless you're really trying to reanimate a corpse. And so it's the movie Lisa Frankenstein. Also in theaters, a movie called It Ends With Us. It's a Blake Lively film, and it's complications arise when a woman's high school love interest comes back into her life. Also in theaters, Turning Red, the re-release, if you want to go see it in the theater.
Yeah, so that if you don't know,
just came to on demand.
Yeah, Turning Red, Soul, I think Ryan the Last Dragon, maybe. I don't remember what it's. Disney, because they during COVID times, they got a lot of these movies got dropped on Disney Plus. They're actually getting them theatrical releases. So Turning Red's getting see it in the big screen.
I'm excited about that. What else? Coming to Prime Video, the movie for this week, Upgraded. This girl's trying to impress her boss. She upgrades to first class for a work trip and meets this handsome guy who mistakes her for the boss. And so, romance and craziness is going to ensue. Coming to video, demand a digital movie called Float. This lady thought she had her life all figured out, but whoa ho ho. She goes to visit her parents in Taipei and suddenly meets a local lifeguard.
That's how it always goes wrong.
Video demand a digital movie called Marmalade.
Is it about Paddington?
No. Criminals seek help from a fellow inmate to escape and reunite with the woman who has stolen his heart. Video demand and digital ghost writing. This guy accepts a residency at a reclusive island, which already this tells you it's going to go badly. They discover lost manuscripts with possible ties to a murder case, and then craziness does ensue.
Murder was the case they gave me.
Hey, coming to Netflix, a movie called Ashes. A dangerous love affair, a married woman, and an irrevocably shattered life. Coming out on Netflix also, Love, Stalker, Killer. That sounds like something you would watch. These two single moms come together, blah, 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 devoted dad, enjoy a chance at a casual romance, but it turns dark in this twisted love triangle. And Lover, Stalker, Killer. Coming to video on demand digital, there's just like little things. Here for Blood. This pro wrestler is struggling. He agrees to a last-minute babysitting job, but then what starts off as a quiet night turns into violent, bloody chaos. That's a kind of a cool babysitter. I want to see that. Coming to Hulu, a movie called Suncoast. It's a semi-biographical story of a teenager with
Woody Harrelson.
Yes. No. I don't think so.
Huh?
Oh yeah, it is. Woody Harrelson and Laura Linney. You're right. Sorry. And they it says one of the most landmark medical cases of all time. It looks like a lot's happening. I lost interest by the time I got to that one. Sorry. There you go.
There's not a lot coming out this week.
Not at the theater.
This is the
it's mostly week. On demand.
Problem is we probably might not be able to go to the theater this
week. Just the theater is It Ends With Us, Turning Red, re-release, and Lisa Frankenstein.
We have to go to a funeral, so we won't get to go on Friday. But anyway, the other thing we didn't get to finish yet, but I do want to promote. There's a movie called The Kings of Queens, the Run DMC story. It's on Peacock right now. It's a 3-part documentary about
it's really good.
The Run DMC group. If you don't know Run DMC, then first of all, what is your problem? Second of all,
go learn.
The other talking about We Are the World. I think I've shown you the video. There is another song that came out back in the day that was kind of a We Are the World for hip hop. It's called The Same Gang.
No.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever heard that either. It was basically anti-gang violence at all these big hip hop groups, including MC Hammer and a bunch of other people. So if you're looking for those different things, you can find them.
Okay.
So that's it. And what's next?
Tell me about the contest.
Oh, the giveaways. Boop it over there. All right, so giveaways, we got a variety of stuff. We still got copies of Justice League, Crisis on Infinite Earth Part 1. Digital copies of the Marvels. It's fixing to be over. So if you want to get in those, you better get your entrance in. Still got a couple of copies of The Flying Swordsman. Copies of The Holdovers, one of my favorite movies last year. Some digital copies of Wish that we talked about. And A Creature Was Stirring, which we'll be talking about soon. From Logo USA, the non-Asian horror flick.
Nice. Okay.
And that's it.
Well, thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Hollywood Matrimony Live. Make sure you check out our website, hollywoodmatrimony.com. Go find us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, and Hive. Woo! We're everywhere.
And we'll be back on Sunday in theory.
Peace out.